seasonal arbitrage is dead as we know it. The whole model of buying Christmas books and selling them during Christmas time, apparently that doesn't work anymore. I did get a pretty, I wouldn't say, I mean, I'd say it's kind of a nasty comment on one of my recent videos. It's actually a video that we did together, Victor. And it's somebody who's actually quite angry and not very happy with the way things are going, I guess, with some of the seasonal Christmas books. They have a problem with us sharing these books in a Facebook group that you created, problem with us sharing books that just kind of help the community out. So today we're going to unpack that comment. We'll actually look at the comment, dissect each argument, each claim, and hopefully debunk everything and just go from there. So
Yep.
with that said, what's going on, Victor?
Hey, Joji. And we're not picking on this one particular person. We've gotten comments like this in the past, and it just got us to think. Let's just open a topic about it. Let's talk about it a little bit. What we do and why we do it, and what this comment is, and where they could have talked about it better, where they may have missed out on a few points. So yeah, I think it's good to talk about, and let's get into it.
Yep. So again, we're not attacking this individual. We're attacking people, though. There's a lot of people who kind of have this feeling and this sentiment of like scarcity mindset, feel like we're teaching way too many people this, that it's, seasonal book arbitrage is dead, that selling books on Amazon is dead. So again, we're not attacking the person, we're attacking the idea. And so with that said, let's dive into my screen. This is the video where the comment actually came from. Breaking, is this the end for Amazon booksellers? This is where Victor got an IP complaint and he simply used his Amazon order ID to get it removed within the same day. And the goal of this was, hey, been a lot of people recently, Victor, in the community getting IP complaints, and
Yep.
most people are not able to, be able to fight them at all, but you were able to do that very successfully. So basically, that's some context of where this video was, and this is a comment that was put on the video, which isn't really have anything to do with that video, but I think it's still comment that we should go ahead and talk about. So I'm gonna go and read out loud, and we'll read the entire thing, Victor, and then we'll kind of break down each section,
Okay.
and go from there. So, how do you explain the fact that the Merry Christmas Songbook, 1981, is now a losing seasonal flip over the last 2 years due to the influx of your followers? As if we got like thousands and thousands of people that are coming in. If you buy it up in the summer, thrift stores and cherry pickers are going to put them online throughout the year much more often. Then when it comes Christmas time, there's twice as much stock to start with and 5 times the stock at the peak of the season. Great for consumers, but your followers are now losing money. So that's important to say. Our followers are now losing money,
Losing money.
and you're selling $700 courses. I don't even know where the $700 courses came from. I don't have a course for $700. I do have a course, A2 Masterclass, that is $497. I mean, that's not $700. Just like the pandemic, this is an IQ test. Don't fall for it, people. So it almost feels like this is like this comment is essentially saying that we're scamming people, or like we're trying to pull the wool over people's
Or
eyes.
close to it, right?
Yeah, close
Like,
to it.
and stuff like this hurts. I mean, it hurts me when I read it. I'm like, okay, something's gone awry when I read these type of comments.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it. So how do you explain the fact that the Merry Christmas Songbook 1981 is now a losing seasonal flip over the last 2 years? So we're going to actually take a look at that book. So here it is, the Reader's Digest Merry Christmas Songbook. There we go, 1981. So we're going to take a look to see if this were a losing seasonal book. So let's go and take a dive right into it. So what we can see here, I'll go ahead and use my Epic pen here. We can totally see that, okay, well, sales rank of this book is going down. So is this book selling, Victor?
Yeah, it's selling quite a bit, and this is a snapshot of the last year, right? So this is the last year of how many times this book is sold and the price points it's been selling at. So yes, it's selling right now, which is during Christmas time, and it's selling really well.
Right, which is what we wanna do, is find the book that represented this idea of seasonal flips.
Yeah.
And so we can't just, like, say, "Hey, seasonal books are great to flip," but, "Oh, we can't give you any examples," because if we gave you any examples, then, yeah, why would anyone trust this if we didn't give any examples of a seasonal book? But in any case, doing exactly what we thought it would, which is it would start selling very, very well, and the sales rank is incredibly low. You also see that the offer count was at its highest peak here in, looks like, August, and then since then, what has happened to the offer count, Victor?
It's drastically dropped. All right, we were at 200, and I think now probably like 65, somewhere around there.
At 200. So certainly over 100 people have already sold this book. At least
100 sellers, right?
yeah,
Right, and those sellers could have had multiple units.
right. Now let's look at the used price. So it looks like the used price basically the whole year on average was kind of right around here. Sometimes a little lower, sometimes a little higher. Is the used price going up, Victor?
Yeah, Oh, draft yeah, it's moved up a lot since what, October? October, it's
So
really moved up.
so
Yeah.
the lowest used price is now in the 20s, and then the buy box price, you can see started moving up here actually in before November, and now it's sitting up here, I think just shy of $40. So like 36 dollars $38, $39. Not sure if it's actually peaked yet at $40, but there it is. So the question is, if you could sell it where this book is buy boxing, which is regularly in the 38 $39 mark, could you have bought it at a price and made money on it? Because again, the claim is that this is a losing seasonal flip. And so I don't know how you define it, Victor, but I would define a losing seasonal flip as a book that is not making any money. Would you
That I'm losing on.
are
That
you
yeah,
losing money on?
that I'm gonna be negative on the book. But as you'll see here, that's 100% incorrect. Like,
Yeah. So
this book is one of the best flips out there. Anyway, go for it.
okay. So I don't know. We could take an average because there's certainly times when, like here, the lowest use price is $4 or $5 plus shipping, so probably like $8 or $9. Over here in July, it was $6 plus shipping, so maybe around $10. Other times it's a little bit higher, $12 plus shipping. And again, I mean, I bought this book, but it appears to me that you could have bought this book for under $10. You can see that I did buy this book in June of 2024, right? Because I actually practice what I preach, and if I'm telling you all that you should buy it, then I'm also going to buy the book.
Yeah, we both
So,
buy it.
here's the book, bought it for $10.61, so I would say it's a pretty good buy price, 10.61.
Mhm.
Victor and I always tell you that the profit is made in the purchase, right? That's where the profit is made. In other words, yeah, if you're buying this book for $20 and you're expecting it to sell for $38, $40, then, that's, you didn't make money from the purchase. The money is made in the purchase. So,
Yep,
bought for 10.61. Let's go to my order page. Let's see if we actually sold the book, Victor.
yeah.
And it looks like I actually sold it a week ago for 38.91, and then I sold it 2 weeks ago. So I won right at the beginning of December, in the first week of December, 38.98. So I can go ahead and put 38.98, $10.43 profit, 98% ROI. I didn't ever touch the book, Victor. I went right to a prep center, paid them $2.25 to prep it. And so
Yeah, so that's 100% ROI or very close to 100% ROI after all the fees, right? Like,
oh,
this is
geez,
after Amazon took out all of their fees, after the prep center fees, you're still bringing back $10.43.
or $10.61 here.
Oh, 61 cents, yeah.
Yeah, but again, I don't see how that's a losing flip. I mean, I guess you could say, well, we thought we were making $15 profit, or we thought we were making $20 profit, but that's a 100% ROI on something. I mean, how much work is involved in doing this, Victor, buying that book?
Um, the as easy as we make it, because literally we just shared this book, right? So all you have to do is go into Amazon, click buy now, and then your prep center will list the book for you. All you have to do is set a minimum maximum price. So probably less than 30 seconds worth of work on your laptop, and that's it. And you're gonna make 100% ROI on this book.
Yeah. So I'm already not seeing that point. Right. That was the first part of the comment is that how do you explain the fact that the Merry Christmas Songbook is now losing seasonal flip? I would say making 100% ROI on a book is not a losing flip. So I don't see how that's factually correct. So the next thing is if you buy it up in the summer, thrift stores and cherry pickers are going to put them online throughout the year much more often. So this idea is that maybe the used price throughout the middle of the year, Victor, is going to be higher than it has been in previous years. Well,
Mm.
I guess what we could do is just look at, well, where has the used price of this book been going back to like 2019?
Right? Because
Well, it looks
based
like
on this
it's
comment, we made it seem like the book is now constantly at $20 for the entire
yeah.
year, and then, because of us, it was $20, and before in the past, it was, say, 6 or something.
Yeah, which to me, it looks like it's actually a little bit lower in price in this last year. So
Yeah.
it looks like in 2019, like all of 2018, it's in the $10 to $12 range. Even the next year is in the $13 to $16 range, and then the $14 to $15 range the next year, and then the $12 to the $14 range, the $13 to the $15 range. I think this year is actually where it got the cheapest to actually pick up. So
Yeah.
it's actually the reverse of what that person was saying. It actually became cheaper to pick the book up. And this fact that, thrift stores are now magically going to understand seasonality, and now they're looking and hunting for this one particular book because we shared it in a Facebook group and our YouTube videos. Like, one thing that we have to understand is that, like, the scale of booksellers and the scale of Amazon is like, we don't have very much influence. Like, you think we have a lot of influence because we might be the only ones on YouTube sharing this comment, but of all the thrift stores in the United States, not even 1% of them even know who we are.
Yeah,
Like,
this
they don't even know my face.
listening to
They
us.
don't even know your face.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not listening to us. And I've been to thrift stores in the last year, although I'm not buying books from them, but I am going into them, and I've not seen them start selling Christmas books in June, or July now because we've now started talking about Christmas books. So
Yeah.
it's not happening. And so it's the same pattern is repeating as expected on book like this.
And I think what's really important to know is like, well, this person, well, Joji, look at the offer count on this book. Look how amazing this book was before you guys started talking about it. So we'll go back years into the past. So back to 2015. Look at the used offer count. Every year, it's just an awesome book where it never gets too high, always goes down low. Well, look at the last 2 years. It spiked, went really, really high. But again, you have to understand our goal, Victor, is to help out the community with seasonal books. So we have to share examples of seasonal books. And we also, because if we don't share examples, then we're essentially talking about something where there's no evidence. We're just like, oh, yeah, those seasonal, they're great books. Well, we can't show you any of them, though. Right.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. But on the other hand, there's a particular reason why we shared this book is because it's one of the best Christmas books, and we knew, Victor, that if we share this with people and the offer count goes up, it's still probably going to like, there's a very high likelihood that the book is still going to perform. And did it
Yeah.
perform?
Yeah, we analyzed this book before we showed it, right? We wanted to make sure that if we showcase this book, can it still perform well? And to answer your question, Georgie, yes, it did.
Yeah.
It did exactly what we expected it to do.
Yeah.
You could buy this book for $10 and now sell it really close to $40. And
Yeah.
are a lot of people doing it? Yes.
Yeah.
And I have an argument here of whether or not we caused all of this. I don't believe that that's necessarily the case because you can go back to my Facebook group and I was sharing this book 7 years ago. So
Yeah.
7 years ago, it's still been a great book every year. And even if there's a higher offer count this last 2 years, did not affect this book. It's going to continue to do well. And if you're seeing this book now, yeah, it's too late to buy it now, of course. But
Yeah.
next May, next June, next July,
Yeah.
go buy this book.
Buy it anytime between there and there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's keep going on with the comment. All right.
Yep.
So let's see. So then when it comes Christmas time, there's twice as much stock to start with. There definitely was a higher offer count. That's probably one part of the argument that is actually valid. And 5x the stock at the peak of the season. That's not true at all. 5x the stock at the peak of the season. So the peak of the selling season would be, I guess you could say, I mean, right now we're at a really low offer count, 31,000. So maybe
My guess would be like December 5th or something. All right. December 5th. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
let's look at December 5th. So this is December 5th right here. I'll go and we're looking at December 5th of off count 102.
Yeah.
At this time last year, there's an off count of 135. So it's actually lower now at this point in time than it was last year. So that's certainly not, if you're lower, that's not 5x.
5x, which would
Fi-
mean it would be 500.
It'd be 500. It'd have to be over that.
I think the huge offer count would be 500.
It'd be 600. Maybe
Yeah, it would be 600. Yeah.
and you might say, okay, well, George, I meant of, the golden years, the good old years is what I meant to say. Okay, well, we could do that as well. So let's look at December 4th and let's go back to, I don't know, we can look back here, December 4th of this year, a couple years ago, 2022. Okay, so 35. Okay, we're down here to 109. Okay, so yeah, I guess in that point, that is true. If you go back 3 years ago, it is five times higher at the peak of the season. But again, if you look at what the used price was at that time, it was in the 40s. Now it's in the high 30s. And so it's like, yeah, I mean, you could make an argument that that the book is selling for less money, which is true. But that doesn't mean it's a losing book. I mean, if you're making $10 profit per book, and you could easily sold 10 or 15 of these. I mean, this could be a $100 profit book for anyone who bought the book. And so I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at here, Victor. It's just like I think a lot of people have this scarcity mindset where it's like, hey, if more people start doing this, start selling books, and more people start coming on these listings, then there's no money to be made at all. I mean, that's just certainly not true though. Like you would have made $10 profit per book of that book that you bought. So
Yeah, I think people are just missing out on what we're trying to do. We're trying to help out people gain financial independence
right.
through books. And so we're just showcasing books out there. we're not even showcasing all the books we've ever shown is not even at 1% of 1% of the books out there. And so, yeah, we showed this one particular Christmas book but there are tons of other Christmas books out there that are making a ton of money. There are a ton of high school books, there are a ton of college books, and our goal is just to help out the average person, right? The person who is out there struggling, trying to figure out how to make a side hustle work. We want to basically give them a few leads to like show them this is the book you need to look for. If you find a book with a pattern like this, go buy that book because that's great. Look, you see how it does that and it does this. That's a great book. And we need to show you an example. And so we use that book as an example, knowing that people would still buy the book and it's still going to perform well. And that's
Yeah.
exactly what it did. So don't misunderstand this. When we showcase that book, we know it's not going to perform as well as it's done in the past, but it still
Right.
performed well. And if you're just starting out, hey, here's a free $100, basically, right? Buy this book, buy 10 copies of it, make $100. Now you're $100 in. Now you made some profit. Now you'll be able to buy other books. Like that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, and you're also missing the point that, this is one particular book, right? I mean, there's hundreds of Christmas books that are performing well. And yeah, I mean, if you have a problem with the fact that we share that book, then don't buy it. Don't make $10 profit per book. Go buy other books that less people are on. Certainly, the book that we shared in the Facebook group there and on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, more people are obviously buying that book because it's a freebie. It's like we're handing someone a fish. We try to also teach you how to fish, but obviously less people are willing to go out and do the work and do keep a product finder searches or go on Amazon and search different keywords. Less people are willing to take that action, which means there's tons of other seasonal books that are going to do well because of the fact that less people are buying them. But the fact that we could give away a book and thousands of views could be had on YouTube and the Facebook group, and you could still make 100% ROI, $10 profit per book is just honestly mind blowing. That's crazy. That's just
That just
it's
shows we're like experts at what we do because we're able to showcase a book and it still
crazy.
makes money. It does blow my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's one more book that we wanna share with you as well. So let's take a look. Okay, so this book here, 1,200 Update Ways of the World with Sources for the AP Modern course. Ways of the World, a book that, Victor, you talked extensively about, and wow. So here's another example where you're like, "Well, this is you, Victor. This is you influencing the market. See all of that? That's all because of Victor right there." Right? The user offer count went that high, that many people bought the book, and this book is dead. Well, I mean, offer count still went close to 0, and the price went from basically there all the way up there.
Just to showcase that, actually the price went higher this last year, even with more than double the used offer count. It actually peaked higher than I'm what it looks like. It's peaked higher than what it did the year before.
You know, it looked
Um,
like, between here and here is like in the 140s up into the 150s.
yeah.
Right. So, again, another book that Victor shared, again, purposely picked this book. You picked this book purposely because you knew even if there was going to be a large increase in offer count, this book has so much demand that it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And it clearly didn't matter because
I wanted to give out books. Me and Joji want to give out books to help out the community, right?
Alright,
And we want to give out examples so that when you find this out in the wild, you know that you found a winning book, and this is one of them. And we talked about this on your YouTube channel, Joji, on this YouTube channel here. I've talked about it on the Facebook group. I've talked about it on Steve Rakin's group, Avery's group. I mean, I've done a lot of publicity for this particular book because it's just that great, right? A matter of fact, they've even told people buy like 40 copies of it if you could, because you can buy this book for 60 and sell it for 150. Just if you want to just put that quick numbers in there, like 60, sell it for like 150, 160 or something.
yeah,
And just imagine the type of profit you can make on that
right,
type of book is just amazing. And the fact that we showcased it in so many different places, it got a lot more attention, a lot more people bought it, but yet it still performed well. So
yeah,
that's our goal, right? Our goal is just to help out people, give out these leads to people. I'm not asking for any money when I give these out, right? We didn't get any money for showing that Christmas book or for this other high school book. I'm not making any courses telling people to go buy this specific book. We're literally out here just helping people out, and I don't know where people are commenting thinking we're trying to mess up the market.
yeah. And the other thing is we practice when we preach. Like, we're telling you to buy these books, and it's not like we're just, "Oh, we got got 'em to buy the book," and, we're not buying the book. I mean, What does it say? Victor, you purchased this edition
Yeah.
on
This exa yeah,
December 10th of 2024, which is like 2 days ago.
yeah.
So why would I be telling you to buy a book and then not be buying it myself when there's actual evidence that I bought the book. In other words, I'm buying the book for the next Christmas or for next Christmas, for the next high school textbook season because I believe in it, because I believe this is a great book and it's going to continue to do well. Same thing with this Reader's Digest Merry Christmas book. Why did I buy it in June? Even though we gave it away to thousands of people and every single thrift store in the United States apparently watches that video and now they're saving the book and they're going to sell it for Christmas because we believed in the book. And it's like, no, we're not making thousands and thousands of dollars off of selling courses. And the whole model is just to pretend like we sell books so that we can sell a dream to people. I mean, let's go to Amazon. Let's go to reports. Let's go to business reports. Take a look at year to date. I mean, this says 4,300 orders,
Yep.
$288,000. I'm clearly selling textbooks. Or I'm selling books. Like, it's not like I'm just pretending like I'm doing that. There's real evidence. Like, go watch the videos. And for everyone out there that's, again, we're not attacking this person. We're attacking people who like this. But that scarcity mindset is every single year I've continued to do better than the previous year, despite the fact that you think that every person in the United States who's a bookseller is watching my videos. Every
Yeah.
year I've done better.
I mean, so many good points there, Joji, because it's like we're not joking here. There's over 100 million books on Amazon, and we're not making that number up. That's actually hard data that proves that there is over 100 million books on Amazon because Keepa gives us that data. And so when we showcase Christmas books, even if you go back and look at every Christmas book we've ever showed you, there's literally probably 5 times as many Christmas books out there than what we've shown
Yeah.
and given out. And in high school books, I've probably given out maybe a couple hundred high school books, but there's at least 6,000 high school books out there. So like we're not even close to saturating the market. There's this there is so many opportunities, and we're here to help out people, right? We're
Yeah.
here to give back to the book community because the book community has helped us. We are both financially independent because of selling books, not because of selling courses, right?
Yeah.
I,
Yep.
I did it because of selling books. So did Joji. Like I sold $500,000 worth of books like a year and a half ago, made $150,000 in profit, more than I ever made in my job. And I'm like, yeah, this is the way. This was what I'm going to do. And so I made much more money than I've ever gotten back from anything else. Some people have constantly asked me, Victor, please, help us out, make some type of training classes and stuff. And so, yeah, me and Joji have one live, like some training classes that we do live to help out people because the community has asked for it. But we're not doing it to survive on. We're not making money from this. We're making money from selling books because that's what we do because we're booksellers and we're booksellers first. So,
Yep. I thought that this would be an interesting video because we get some variation or version of this comment all the time. And I don't know. I really think that if you have that mindset, you're probably going to end up failing in this game because then you're blaming everyone else and everything else, for the reason why you're not doing well. But again, even with that one particular book that's now considered a dying textbook, apparently. I mean, I don't know how you lost money on that. I mean, that was a great book. I'm going to be buying that for next year, and I'm going to tell everyone to buy that book for next year. I mean, it is flattering to think that we, that people think we have that much influence. At the end of the day, very, 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 very few people know who we are. A couple thousand views, great. Maybe 5% of people actually follow our advice and do that. And at the end of the day, 100 million books.
yeah.
All of the books ever produced versus tiny little Joji and Victor here trying to get the word out to, a couple thousand people, a lot of whom don't actually take action. It's just, you just got to think of the scale. Like, there's a disconnect between the scale and our influence. So, anyways,
We're just trying to showcase things that we know work, right?
yeah,
We both believe in books because we both made money from books, and we want to just help out other people to do it. We want because when we know there's like a lot of other scam systems out there,
yeah,
and this isn't. we can show proof. Joji shows proof almost every video. I think he goes beyond anybody else out there. He's like, "Hey, look, I bought this book. I'm gonna click on it right here, live in the video, and show you that I bought it for $10, and look, I sold it for 40." Something I'm not even willing to do because I'm like, if you don't believe me, you don't look at the data, you can't tell it. I don't need to prove to you more than that because I just you have to see it yourself. But Joji goes to the next point to actually prove to you that he is actually buying the books that he's saying for you guys to buy.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just gotta take our advice. Go buy those books. That Christmas book next year, I'm gonna be talking about it. Joji's gonna be talking about it. I'm sure we're gonna talk about it for like 3 or 4 videos next year sometime for you to guys to buy it. And I'm sure again it's gonna do well again because it's one of the best Christmas books out there.
Yo, I don't know, everyone. Let us know, guys and gals down below in the comments, who's right. Is it this person? Is that person right, or are we right? I don't know. We tried to break down every part of that comment and show you that, at least from our perspective, the data doesn't look like it's on that person's side. Yeah, you may have 1 or 2 points, great, but I think even if you have 1 or 2 points, it's, well, what are the other points that you're making that are just completely false and just completely inaccurate, right? That kind of takes away from the other points that you had. So yeah, I don't know. Let us know down below in the comment section what you all think. Is book selling dead or seasonal books dead? Because if so, I think I might need to find something else to do, I guess. Hope to see you all in the next one. Peace out.
All right, see you guys later.